Can I acknowledge all the graduates first? Well done on what you've achieved, and I look forward to hearing about your successes for the way forward. I'm going to start with a bold claim. I will stand here and tell you I am the richest man in the room. You were all banking on rhyming, weren't you? Where'd that come from? But the question is to think about, what is the measure of success? In 1970, Mr. and Mrs. Mikati, my parents, left Lebanon to pursue a new life in Australia. An arduous journey at a time where there weren't very many people from our community settled in those areas. My father, in his 70s right now, still driving buses in the local area, and my mother just retired as a home nurse. I entered the New South Wales Police Force in 1999, the only Arab Muslim male police officer in the community. And I thought I'll pick a quiet station, some of you know it as Bankstown. At the time, the crime capital of the country. The most armed robberies, the most violent crime, the most murders. On my second day, as a new recruit, I saw a man killed in front of me. In front of Year 12 girls doing the HSC, studying at the library. Dealing with that kind of trauma as a very young 25-year-old, I think at the time, brought reality to life and what was happening in our community down in southwest Sydney. As time went on, I could experience what I can only say is extreme prejudice, racism, and probably tried to resign or quit about 18 times in the first 6 months. As time went on, things got a little better. And then on a date known as September 11, 2001, finishing off my 12-hour night shift at an outstation, I received all these SMS messages. Danny, put it on Channel 7 now. Put it on Channel 7 now. What's going on? Just in time to see the second plane hit the tower. I had 2 hours left in my shift, and I knew, beginning to pack my things, that my career would never be the same again. I knew my community would never be the same again, because I knew what was going to happen. I'd learnt it from the Bali bombings. We get labelled, we get smeared, and stereotypes come into play. And how many of you are nodding your heads? As I went back to unload my gear and pack away my stuff, on a big whiteboard, there was a big picture of a cedar tree. And the cedar tree represents the Lebanese flag, with a big cross on it. And I looked and went, wow, I wonder who that was for. Once again, I decided that's it for me. I'll be resigning. Luckily, it was a Thursday. And on the Friday, for Muslims, it's our holy day. We go to the mosque. I went to the mosque down at Lakemba, and the president of the association at the time came and saw me. Hey, Danny, how is everything? They knew me as the Muslim cop. And I said, oh, I'm just about to resign. He brought me into the room and gave me a 3-hour lecture on why I can't resign. Then he told me about all the people in the community that had come back to him and told him, Danny helped me with this, Danny helped me with this, Danny. And I couldn't believe it. I had no idea. Word had spread, and what I thought was doing my job to the community meant so much. There was finally someone they could relate to. 18 years later, I finally finished my posting, taking an opportunity to leave the police force, and I have no regrets. In that journey, I met amazing people, the skill set, and what's funny, what they ascribed me of, I became part of the counter-terrorism unit. I worked in really high-profile cases and dedicated my career to saving children and women fleeing domestic violence, and I still lecture on domestic violence today. But what is the measure of success? As a police officer making my 55 grand a year, not so much. Even after 18 years, the salary wasn't fantastic, putting your life on the line, almost dying 4 or 5 times. But I also got to save lives. And you hardly ever get recognised for it. I think out of 30 lives saved, 1 I was recognised for. And that was rare. But what is the measure of success? 7 years ago, I decided to enter the charity game. I had been working as a community advocate and doing different things in the local community for a while. And I heard one day that I actually saw a Facebook post come up talking about drug and alcohol rehabilitation for the Southwest Sydney community. And I was really angry because I'd been advocating for this for a long time and no one wanted to do it. So I went and knocked on the door of this charity called AusRelief. And I said, where the hell were you every single time I was asking to start something and now you want to sort of get the accolades and try doing it? And they just went, oh, calm down, Danny, sit down. And they were talking about injury rehabilitation, not drug and alcohol, so don't make aspersions. And then they told me, tell me this idea you've got for drug and alcohol. And I explained how this is a big issue in our community, no one's addressing it, what do we do? They countered the offer and said, okay, let's do it, but you lead it. So 7 years ago, I joined AusRelief. At the time, they were 12 months old and only working internationally in Cambodia, doing some work after the Aceh crisis. What is the measure of success? 7 years later, our team has grown from 4 volunteers to 65 locally, probably about 1,000 internationally. We're in 28 countries, and I'm proud to say we have fed millions of people across the world. Thank you. No government grants, no support other than good grassroots community work, developing trust, making an impact, and meeting some amazing people along the journey. You're going to hear a lot about success in terms of financial measure, and hey, it's important. And I need you guys as donors, so make a lot of money. But don't hold yourself to that as your standard in terms of your success. It's not what you do, it's why you do it. You can be mechanics, you can be bus drivers, but if you put that effort in, or even if you channel that money into making an impact on other people's lives, you are successful. And that's why I count myself as the richest man in the room. Congratulations to all of you, and I look forward to hearing about your journey. Thank you.